Name is Josh Mote. I'm the Director of Partnerships here for our Western Division. Work with any third-party organizations, associations that we can kind of get in front of to kind of help tell our story, that can make introductions to those manufacturers or those warehouses. Yeah, I think the most important thing when we start to look for new partners is a group that's focused on doing things differently. So what we're trying to look for is those individuals who are trying to push this, push change and really help their membership, help their communities, help their states, whatever the case may be. And so when we can start to have some of those conversations about how impactful this can be, and they're starting to kind of see, they're tossing out ideas as to, we could do this is a great idea over here, this could really help this company. That's where we start to get a little excited on, then we can start to talk numbers and see what this would, be mutually beneficial between both organizations. With the Detroit Regional Partnership, they are a economic development organization, obviously for Greater Detroit, and their main purpose is getting manufacturers to try to get them to move to Detroit. So they are the organization who's saying, hey, here's why you should move to Detroit over Chicago, Indianapolis, etc. So a lot of their work is marketing that area, the revitalization of Detroit and kind of what that city has gone through over the last several years to try to make that an attractive place for businesses to be.
So the Detroit Regional Partnership is an economic development organization that represents the city of Detroit and the 11 county surrounding region. Our mission is to attract new businesses and job opportunities to our region. I'm Maureen Krauss. I'm the president and CEO of the Detroit Regional Partnership.
So I'm Gregory. I'm the Director of Talent Solutions here at the Detroit Regional Partnership, and my role is really to help our companies navigate what can be a very complex workforce ecosystem. Every company right now is struggling to find talent, and companies in Michigan are no different, and we're really trying to help them understand where the best resources, programs, partners, collaborations are going to be so that they can find the workforce they need.
So in Detroit and in this region, manufacturing is really in our DNA. It is our history. This is where we rose to prominence over 100 years ago.
Especially in Michigan, manufacturing is absolutely critical. Creating one job in manufacturing creates many other jobs as well. It has a multiplier effect. For us, manufacturing, it's the most important industry in our region, and it employs the most people. But we do work with a lot of partners in the region that are trying to ensure that young people are aware of the careers that are available in manufacturing, that they understand the importance of manufacturing to Michigan, that they have an interest in the field and that they want to work in it because it's the backbone of our economy, which is why we partner with organizations that are doing that good work of making sure that young people are interested in these careers and are prepared for these careers.
I think awareness is the most important thing that we can support with and that our partners are doing. Manufacturing Day is such an amazing example of that. Getting younger people into a manufacturing operation to see that it's not like a picture they might see from the 60s or the 70s, but they're clean and they are, robotic driven and they're technology driven, and some really cool things happen there. So having Manufacturing Day and getting that exposure early on to all the influencers around our future talent is what is going to make a difference.
There are so many opportunities in the manufacturing, industry. I think a lot of times people think about manufacturing as just building things or just putting things together, but there's so much more in manufacturing beyond that. Manufacturing is now a technology sector. There's computers in every single vehicle. There's computers in every single manufacturing floor. There's also a lot of creativity in manufacturing, which I think often gets missed. Engineers and designers who are creating either the concepts or the actual products that are going to be manufactured, that's a very exciting field. But there are career trajectories way beyond that in really any field that you're interested in, whether that's HR and finance, whether that's marketing, whether that's something creative like design and engineering, or actual production. All of those are available to you. And I think that there are also a lot of really great pathway programs that can support individuals in making those career transitions from one step to another, both within Michigan and outside of it.
I think when you look at a career path for anyone, it's learning all you can in the moment, but also thinking ahead, and who are you observing that looks like they're doing something that could be interesting for you in the future, and being that eager student to learn more about it. Even when you're on your current job, is to find out, well, what else can I learn that will get me to that next level? And that cross-learning is super important to identify what a future career path might be. How do you retain your employees? Let them look at what other opportunities there are throughout the company and how they might be able to learn about them and take advantage. I think companies have to take some of the responsibility, and they are, to expose their employees to all aspects of the company.
Yeah, I mean, I think anything that gives a student an opportunity or a young person an opportunity to enter the manufacturing floor, see what it really looks like, get the touch and feel for that industry. And with Veryable, you know, they're getting paid while they're doing that. You know, I think would be huge for that interest and that aptitude for manufacturing and the potential for career path in the future. And then on the business side, I mean, having, you know, the opportunity to bring in the talent on demand and when it's needed is very important for our manufacturers here. And then again, can also help for that career pathway for young people as well.
Through past careers, I actually had the privilege of working with Maureen, who's their president and CEO, at my previous stops. And so we had kind of a previous relationship, and I've been working with some of the other people on her team through that as well. Manufacturing is the backbone of our entire GDP, right? I mean, there's no more important industry than manufacturing. The limitations, I guess, are non-existent there in manufacturing. And everything that you hold, everything that you use, everything that you wear is manufactured. And I think a lot of people don't maybe necessarily stop and think about that today. At least for myself, that's something that when you see a product that you've helped make, helped build, helped distribute, it kind of gives you a little bit of meaning, right? It's something you can tell your spouse about or tell your kids about. Hey, I helped with that. Hey, that's my product there. Hey, we put this into your car. That food that you're eating is something that came out of my facility. Depending on which stats you read and believe, but anywhere between, for every dollar made in manufacturing, it's $4 spent in the community. I've seen that number go up to $8 spent in the community. But either way, it shows, how impactful manufacturing is to local and state economies. That money is going back into that area, just, the same as other businesses, but there's so many different tiers to manufacturing. So if you have whatever end product that you're using, you are maybe using 2, 3, 4 different suppliers to get to that point. So there's so many jobs created on down the line from that end product. So with MMA, or the Michigan Manufacturing Association, I had the chance to connect with somebody who had worked alongside their president, John, at the State House years ago. And he said, look, John's one of the most forward-thinking individuals in the state. You need to talk to him about what you guys are doing. He can really champion this for you.
The MMA was founded 120 years ago to create an environment where manufacturing could thrive in the state of Michigan. Manufacturing is a huge driver of wealth and opportunity in any state or any country that pursues it. It employs here in Michigan 20% of our workforce, so it's a big impact for our state. So we think young people have a great opportunity in manufacturing. There are good paying jobs at all levels. There are benefits. Most manufacturers offer very good benefits, stable employment, but interesting employment. This isn't yesteryear's manufacturing where you're just banging out a single widget one after another. You have to have a degree of intelligence, application, hard work, creativity to work in the manufacturing environment today. It's an exciting environment, one that we think is very rewarding, both financially but also personally as you build things. The other thing that I would mention is it's something to be very proud of. For some reason, for years we've decided everybody has to go to college. That's not true. There are a million ways to make a living, particularly in this country. And we shouldn't limit ourselves to just a college track. That said, somebody that starts even on the line or in packaging, they're just getting into the industry, as they grow, they have the opportunity to go back to school, often supported by the state or their employer, to keep skilling up. That might lead to a degree. Somebody might say, you're really good at what you're doing. We think you're ready to go into management, to begin being a supervisor on the line. That could lead to a bigger and bigger role. And this opportunity to go back and forth from the workplace to college, earn up a few more credits, maybe a degree, and rise if you wish, or stay in the area that you like. A lot of flexibility. There's many ways that you can explore manufacturing. It can be just as simple as going on the web, put in manufacturing, and there are many institutions, companies that are being forward with what it's like to be in a manufacturing environment. You can learn about the demands, the opportunities, the wages, the ability for promotion over the years. That kind of ground zero. Start there, do that. Try to see if you can meet people either in your family or in your neighborhood that are in manufacturing. High schools are more and more now returning to that focus on technical skills and opportunities, and they may have internship programs. So it's not always delivered straight to the student, but with requests and inquiry, it can be found easy enough. Veryable's flexibility is one part of why it's, I think, an awesome solution for the employee and the employer. You know, a young person can go on, they can sample the working world and they can take a look at it. Every manufacturer is different. Every industry, every manufacturing industry is different. And as you move around, I think the ideal of Veryable is, yes, address the labor issue, get people to work, fill the needs that the employer has, but it also gives the person an opportunity to look around until they find a match. We want to get our young folks back involved. Whatever fits their bill, their desire to do moving forward, we want to make sure that they at least have the opportunity to see what manufacturing is all about.
Yeah, I think Veryable's, I'm biased, but I think it's the best way to go out and try out this, these different manufacturing, sites and industries, depending on what maybe city or area that you're located in. Over the course of 2 or 3 weeks, you could see 20 different manufacturing industries, different types, different, jobs that you're able to work. You could be building something that's going into a car the next day and working in a pharmaceutical facility the following. So you could really go out and see all of these different types of industries that all, are all in manufacturing. They're all under that same umbrella. But you can see really how different everything is day to day, and that one manufacturing facility is completely different from the one next door and completely different from the one down the street. And this gives you a way to kind of do that without maybe going on a bunch of job interviews or, having to work here for a couple of years and then move down the street and relearn everything that you have learned in the previous role. All of the partners that we really are working with, the basis of their organizations to bring value to maybe its members, community, regions, whatever the case may be. And with Veryable, it's giving these partners a tool that they've never been able to do that with, right? They can help both sides. They can help the area's workforce, and they can help their manufacturers or just area businesses to be able to grow. So from a value add, it's something that these partners maybe don't believe when they first hear it, because it's like sounds too good to be true until they actually see it in action. And that's where we really start to get a lot of that traction. Whether it's from a funding standpoint on from grants and on one side, or it's hey, we're just trying to provide value for these members that we're working with every day. It gives them, kind of endless possibilities from that standpoint.
Austin Regional Manufacturers Association is a trade organization that supports local manufacturing in Central Texas. I am the Director of Workforce for Austin Regional Manufacturers Association, and my main goal is making sure that we are getting an understanding of what manufacturers' needs are in terms of workforce, but also making sure that people are aware of what opportunities they have in manufacturing and how their lives can change from being in that industry. Some of the things that Austin Regional Manufacturers Association is doing is we're working really closely with industry to invite students into their facilities to take tours so that they get a better understanding of what they would be doing in some of these facilities, some of the things that they would be building, and seeing how the skills, the applied skills that they're learning in the classroom is being associated with the things that they're working on in real life. I think why students should be interested in manufacturing is that it's not sitting in front of your computer all day. Even though that's great for some people, not everybody is meant to sit in front of a computer all day. There's people who love working with their hands, who love building things. That's where their creativity thrives. All you have to look at somebody who likes to take things apart, likes to put things back together again. For example, in Central Texas, you can build race cars. You can build rocket ships. anything that you find interesting is probably going to be a manufacturer in Central Texas, or at least in Texas. On top of that, it's a great way to evaluate where you want to be. So there's a lot of opportunity for you to enter into manufacturing and then pick your career path. You can be an engineer, you can be an operator, you can be a technician. Then you take different career paths from there, and the companies will support you. A lot of these companies are invested in their employees learning, and so they're willing to pay for them to get their education. It's just a really great place to start and not go in debt for your college. Find out what it is that you're really interested in and really grow with the company. There is a big reward. You do with anything and with any career, you always have to work hard and you have to put in the time and the dedication. But when you find your passion, and I think there's so much passion in manufacturing, the average person in manufacturing without a college degree can make $106,000. It's even higher if you're able to get your degree, and that degree can be obtained through the company. A lot of the upskilling programs that I'm working on with Austin Community College, Texas State Technical College, we're looking at that upskilling to be articulated into a college degree. There's a lot of need for supervisor training. So these are all great ways to upskill, to enhance your resume, and to essentially make a lot of money doing what you love. So yeah, that would be the number one thing. You'll make a lot of money if, like anything, you work hard and are dedicated. Veryable is a company that their scope is very broad. They help so many different companies. And so it's a great opportunity for somebody to come in, figure out what it is that they want to do, get their foot in the door with some of these companies. So I think there's a lot of great opportunity with Veryable to get a better understanding of where they want to be in manufacturing. I love working with manufacturing. Everyone across the board is so engaged with their employees, and everyone I've met is so willing to help. I can say that truly manufacturing is just an amazing industry to be a part of. Everyone is invested in seeing you succeed if you want to. And so my genuine passion for it is just making sure that people are aware of this. Again, it kind of goes back to manufacturing had a narrative of not a great industry to work in. And from my personal experience, have had the complete opposite experience. It's my favorite industry to work in. It's the best community that you can engage in, and it's exploding at a rate for potential to be in. And like I said, the most important is to have a great life without going in debt with college, but also the opportunity to continue your education if you'd like to.
Thank you for taking the time to be a part of this journey and for your interest in manufacturing. Remember, the future of manufacturing is forged by those bold enough to embrace it. We hope to see you as part of this future. Now go out there and make your way.